welcome back to the Pink Parrot Rumble at Remington. It is boxing at Remington Park in beautiful Oklahoma City. The heavyweight title on the line, our main event coming up. I'm Andrew Spino, ringside with former champ Darren Humphrey. Darren, this is an exciting fight. Nick Jones, 5-0, currently the title holder. Ty Cobb, 21-8, huge jump in experience for Jones. Tell us about the tale of the tape.
Well, both of these guys come in shape. I spoke with them both in the locker room before they come out. Jones being 5-0, we talked earlier about maybe this being a gatekeeper kind of fight. I don't think Ty Cobb's looking at it like that. He believes in his heart that this is his heavyweight title. And, so we're going to see a good fight. The thing that sticks out to me as far as the tale of the tape, Cobb is 10 years older. Maybe that's going to be the difference. They're both big guys, big heavyweights. Looks like maybe to me Jones has come down a little bit, but maybe that's due to him just being in better shape. So, it's going to be a great fight. I think we're going to be moving from the, should Jones win, we're going to be moving from the old to the new. I think Jones is maybe the new type of heavyweight here in Oklahoma City, and he's looking to prove that he's the champion and should be the champion.
Well, Jones, of course, has a big advantage in both height and reach. Ty Cobb, a straightforward bob and weave fighter, throwing big hooks on the inside. Nick Jones, it's kind of hard to define his style because in the last two fights that we saw when he took on former champion Wayne Heath, well, first for the vacant title and then in his first title defense, which he knocked out Wayne Heath in the third round. Jones mixed it up on both the inside and the outside. It's hard to define his style, but we'll see how this plays out tonight in our main event. Let's send it up to ring announcer Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your main event of the evening. Proudly brought to you by Pink Parrot Bar and Grill. 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the heavyweight division. And this is for the Oklahoma heavyweight title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 250 pounds. His professional record stands at 21 wins with 8 defeats, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. From Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, the former Oklahoma heavyweight champion, Ty Cobb. And his opponent from across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 217 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 5 wins with no defeats. 4 wins coming by way of knockout. From Owasso, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, heavyweight champion of Oklahoma, Nick Jones. We go to Gerald Whalen for your instructions.
Gentlemen, we're going we're going 6 championship rounds. Obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Have a good, clean fight. Keep your punches up. Both your trunks are good. Touch gloves. Let's get after it.
These two fighters really putting a stare on each other during referees' instructions. Darren Humphrey, initial impressions of the fighter. When I look at Nick Jones, it looks like he's probably a good 7-8 pounds lighter. Very trim.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he's come in good shape. And we got to keep in mind, Jones, he's 5-0, but he's got 4 knockouts. So he has not been the distance in 4 of his 5 fights.
Well, we are going to see what happens. Round 1, the champion, Nick Jones in the red and white trunks. The challenger, former champ Ty Cobb in the black trunks with white trim. Ty Cobb, of course, believes he never really lost the Oklahoma Heavyweight Championship. He didn't lose it in the ring. He lost the title due to inactivity. And Nick Jones won the interim title in a bout with Wayne Heath earlier this year. As you're looking at Jones, we have seen him grow, and in each fight, we've seen him get progressively better during those fights. Tell us what you see from him here in the opening salvo, Darren.
Well, he looks like he's gleaming with confidence to me. He's coming out leading with his jab.
And a very strange left uppercut. He threw himself
lost
off
his feet
balance.
there. Like I said, this is going to be a 6-round fight. Jones hasn't been the distance in 4 of his 5 fights. Cobb, on the other hand, is 21-8, has a lot more experience. And although Cobb lost his title due to inactivity, I don't think he's really been that inactive in the last couple of years. He fought in a heavyweight tournament up at Kansas, took home first place with a win over Travis Fulton and Richard Carmack, which are, they're no jokes. They're tough guys, and they come to fight. So, this is early in the fight. Both guys are out here kind of bringing the heat, filling each other out, but there's a long way to go.
Ty Cobb is very deceptive. He's not the easy target he looks like he should be. He's bobbing and weaving, difficult to hit.
And he's parrying the jab and things like that, which is something that Jones may not be used to. He hadn't fought this experience of a fighter.
Stop! Right! Back up. Stop.
So when you have the physical disadvantages that Cobb has, both in height and reach, how do you work your way inside and not get caught on the end of long punches like you did with that one too?
Well, and I think that's keeping his hands up. You can tell he's kind of coming in with that Mike Tyson, cover up. So, it doesn't look to me like he's impressed with Jones' height and reach advantage. Oh, great right hand there by Cobb.
I'm not sure Jones saw that coming. Cobb very effectively, like a true vet, covered it up with the jab as he was coming in. And we do know Jones can be hurt. Wayne Heath staggered him several times in their last 2 fights. Jones never went down.
But he was hurt several times.
He's a tough kid, but yeah, he was hurt. He was staggered. When you have punching power like Cobb does, 250 pounds, built like a tank, he catches you the right way. Could spell big trouble for Jones.
Yeah, and you have a good point. Looks like Jones is progressively getting better. I don't think I've seen him lead with an uppercut, and Cobb's coming in with his head down a little bit, and that's what he did. He led with a good right uppercut.
And here we are at the end of round 1. Round 2 coming up.
Say congratulations.
I'm Derek Atkins, MMA fighter and boxer here in Edmond, Oklahoma. I'm 10-4 in MMA. I usually wake up with Quantum, but if my day of the workout is kicking my butt a little bit worse than usual, I'll grab a bottle. It helps me recover, I feel better, it helps me sleep. I haven't taken any sort of ibuprofen or aspirin since I started using Quantum. I'd recommend it to anybody with kind of physical work. Quantum can actually really help you recover and feel like you can actually do stuff with your family, your friends, and just feel better in life.
Welcome back to Remington Park in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma heavyweight title on the line. Defending champion Nick Jones in the red and white trunks. The challenger, former champion Ty Cobb in the black trunks with white trim. Darren Humphrey, very difficult first round to score. What'd you have?
I agree with you. It was difficult to score. Maybe I would give that to Jones. Like you said during the break, I felt like he landed a good 1-2. Probably the cleanest punches of the fight so far. But there's a long way to go. Cobb, he's working on his timing. He's parrying a lot of Jones's punches and did it right there and lands with a good left hook.
That was a solid left hook. He kind of leapt up on the inside, and clearly that's what Cobb needs to do, is work his way inside, but he's being outgunned, trying to come in as Jones has really dictated the pace of his fight.
Good body shot there by Cobb. And don't get me wrong, Jones, he's definitely improved. He's got his jab looks much better than it has in previous fights, and he looks a lot more comfortable, to be honest with you.
Well, his jab looks better, and he's using it a lot more.
Right. Oh, Cobb lands a good left hook there and almost put Jones on the ground.
It did. Jones was off balance when he threw that punch and when he caught the counter.
Yeah.
But then he landed a nice left hook as Cobb was coming in.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Jones is going to have to learn. A lot of times he's throwing the punches so hard, he's coming off his feet, and that's something you don't want to do. We noticed that in the Heath fight. He landed that good punch, but he was off of his feet when he landed it and ended up falling over Heath there at the end of the fight.
Yeah, footwork probably could use a little work in the gym, and you've come.
Good
right hand, a good overhand right. Jones smiled as if to say it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But it had to have because Cobb really landed that flush. Got to give it to Jones for taking that punch. Because Cobb really threw his shoulder into that right hand and it landed right on Jones's face. But Jones, so far, pretty effective at using his jab to keep Cobb at long range.
Oh, good left hook there. See, Jones is getting a little wide here. If Cobb can move inside, throw some, clean shots. It looks to me like Jones is maybe getting a little bit tired. I know that sounds kind of funny being so early in the fight, but he didn't have as much experience.
Oh.
And he just got hit with a clean left hook.
And another left hook. That one stunned him. Cobb has him in trouble. I think Jones is stunned. He's trying to shake it off.
And Cobb's walking him down now, throwing left hooks to the body. Good left hook to the body.
Beautiful left hook.
And that's the difference between an experienced fighter and a non-experienced fighter. He's taking his time and breaking Jones down, at least at this point.
He is, and you can tell.
Another great left hook.
Another big left hook. It's a question of how many of those shots Nick Jones can take because Cobb is loading up with those left hooks. Every time he gets on the inside, he manages to sneak that in. A few seconds left in round number 2. Round 3 is coming up.
I'm Derek Atkins, MMA fighter and boxer here in Edmond, Oklahoma. I'm 10-4 in MMA. I usually wake up with quantum, but if my day of the workout is kicking my butt a little bit worse than usual, I'll grab a bottle. It helps me recover, I feel better, it helps me sleep. I haven't taken any sort of ibuprofen or aspirin since I started using quantum. I'd recommend it to anybody with kind of physical work. Quantum can actually really help you recover and feel like you can actually do stuff with your family, your friends, and just feel better in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Thoroughbreds.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Get artsy at the Oklahoma Classics Arts Festival with the Tipsy Artist Painting Party for charity, live Oklahoma thoroughbred racing, and more. October 20th.
We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock.
Only at Remington Park.
The heavyweight championship of Oklahoma is on the line. It is the Pink Parrot Rumble at Remington. The champion, Nick Jones, rocked by the challenger and former champ, Ty Cobb, in the second round. This is the beginning of round 3. Darren Humphrey, how'd you score 2?
Well, I certainly gave round 2 to Cobb. I'm not sure Jones landed a real clean punch during that second round. I think Cobb's starting to figure him out. He's walking him down, throwing heavy shots. And I think he's confusing Jones, to be honest with you. That's just the difference in experience.
I think he is, and he's catching him along the way.
Yes.
Do you think Jones can withstand another round like he took in round 2?
I don't know. I don't think so. He sure looked hurt a couple of times.
Well, he's doing much better here, firing from long range, keeping Cobb on the outside and off balance with his jab. But when Cobb can work his way inside, it's almost like Jones, you think at some point would start putting his right hand up to quit taking that left hook to the jaw.
Yeah, and that's something Jones is going to have to learn, especially fighting heavyweight. His hands are down by his waist and have been for most of the fight. It looks to me like he's throwing good punches here, Jones is.
He is, but Cobb can be dangerous with his back up
sneak
against
that left
the
hook in. And he's doing that. Cobb's throwing that left hook because Jones is coming in, throwing that heavy right hand, and it's going down by his waist, so Cobb's doing exactly what he should do, and that's countering with the left hook.
And the jab of Jones is starting to take a toll on Cobb's face. Starting to puff up around the eyes, and he might have a small cut on the right side of his nose. I can't quite tell if it's just a smear or a cut.
Oh, another good left hook by Cobb. I think that's the difference in the fight so far. Cobb's landing that left hook.
That left hook of Ty Cobb really has been the story of the last 2 rounds.
And
good job, guys. Work out.
Jones is kind of doing the same thing. I like it that he's using his jab, but now he's starting to throw a 1-2, and it's almost methodical. So Cobb sees that coming and seems to, avoid it every time he throws the right hand.
I have to tell you, I was very interested when I learned that Jones came in significantly lighter for this fight. I was thinking he could be working more on his speed and lateral movement.
Oh, another good left hook.
Good exchange. Referee calls Jones for holding Cobb behind the head.
And that shows Jones' inexperience right there. Those few seconds that we saw, Jones actually stopped and looked over at the referee and supposed to protect yourself at all times, and that's the difference is he's lucky Cobb didn't hit him with the left hook there.
I think we learned that in the Mayweather-Ortiz fight.
Yes.
Protect yourself at all times.
Yep.
But, you know, through round 3, I think Jones is landing more.
Yeah,
certainly
he's doing
more
better
punches
this round
and more
for sure.
effective punches.
Yes.
We're coming to the end of round 3. Another tough one to score. We'll take a look at the champ's scoreboard coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Thoroughbreds.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Get artsy at the Oklahoma Classics Arts Festival with the Tipsy Artist Painting Party for charity, live Oklahoma thoroughbred racing, and more. October 20th.
We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock.
Only at Remington Park.
Welcome back to the Pink Parrot Rumble at Remington. Boxing at Remington Park in Oklahoma City. This is a fight for the Oklahoma Heavyweight Championship. Nick Jones in the red and white trunks. Ty Cobb in the black trunks. Ty Cobb, a former champion, hoping to regain his title against the young undefeated Nick Jones. 5-0 with 4 knockouts. Round 3, another tough one to score, just like the first round. Darren Humphrey, how did you have 3?
Well, it was a tough one to score, as you said. I would kind of maybe give that. I don't know that I would necessarily give that round to Jones, but I think Jones did a lot better in that round than he did in the previous one.
He did. Cobb not as effective getting on the inside as he was in the second round, when he really staggered Jones a couple times with that hard left hook upstairs.
Right. And Jones is getting a little bit sloppy. He's maybe getting tired. He hasn't been the distance in any of his fights except for one. And I think he's getting maybe a little bit sloppy. He's throwing hard, good shots, but his hands are all over the place. And Cobb's been, counter-punching him all night. So.
Yeah, Jones has been throwing a lot of punches when he's not in position.
Another good left hook.
And he pays the price for it when Cobb manages to work his way on the inside.
Yeah, and you notice there, Cobb's just barely moving his head there to avoid that jab. And Jones has a good jab, for sure. He's certainly improved a lot.
You
got to give credit to Jones here. He's fighting somebody that has a lot more experience.
Good left hook. Jones was staggered. Yeah. You're right. Jones was getting wild. He paid a price for it when he got hit by that counter left hook.
Good left hook to the body and right uppercut to the body there by Jones or Cobb.
Very nice shots to the body by Ty Cobb and Nick Jones, who is obviously tired. Those punches take a big toll.
Yep. I think that's going to be the difference in this fight is the experience of Cobb over Jones.
And Cobb actually beating Jones with a jab at this point.
Yes, and that's a great point. And that's the difference between the experience of both of these guys. Again, Jones looks really good. He's got good tools. He's built extremely well. I mean,
Very
he's
athletic.
got the perfect, physique to be a boxer. But, fatigue makes cowards of us all, so.
Another good left hook. They're trading punches in the center of the ring.
I think Jones is just maybe a little bit too wide with his punches.
He's gone wild.
But he's still coming forward and throwing some heavy shots, no doubt.
He is. Jones has gone wild with his punches, and when he does, he pays a price for it.
Yes.
That's usually when Cobb manages to slip under that right hand and throw the left hook. Cobb bleeding
good jab there by Cobb. Yep.
Jones hoping to make a statement here at the end of round 4. Round 5 coming up. Here we go, round 5, and we have a timeout.
Over there. Time in. Box.
Round 5, the Oklahoma heavyweight title on the line. I'm Andrew Spino, joined ringside by former champion Darren Humphrey. Darren, 2 interesting heavyweights match up here. It's youth versus age, experience.
Yeah, it is.
Versus speed.
Yeah, and we got, like you said many times tonight, styles make fights, and this is a great fight. In fact, all the fights have been good tonight. We got a tall, what I would consider maybe maybe looking wise more of a boxer against a short, stout, heavy-handed Cobb. But, to be honest, Cobb's more of the boxer tonight, in my opinion.
I think Cobb has taken the best shots that Jones has to offer.
Oh, and that left hook is landing at will. And I think, here Jones, showing a little bit of his inexperience. He's leaning on Cobb, and that's something you don't want to do at this point. He needs to back up, use that jab, move, make Cobb come find him. Cobb doesn't have to find him. Jones is coming to him.
And that's, especially with a 41-year-old fighter, make him work to get to you.
Right.
And you drown him in the later rounds. Here we are in round 5 in a 6-round fight. And Cobb has expended so much less energy than Jones has during this fight. It's interesting that the older guy actually looks fresher, crisper with his punches when he manages to get in and throw them.
Right. Oh. Yeah, and Jones is leaving his feet again, and that's something that I just wouldn't recommend at this point, especially late in the fight. We're in the 5th round. We got one more round to go after this, and
Let him up.
if you get knocked down at this point in the fight, you're probably going to lose it.
What surprises me the more as this fight goes on, that at this level, Jones now 5-0, and he knew this was a big step up in competition and experience. Unless you see something I don't, Darren, I don't see that Jones really came into this with a fight plan.
Well, that's a good point. I think that's due to his experience, And, somebody like Cobb, who has all these rounds and all these fights leading into this, he can adjust and make adjustments through the fight, where somebody that's inexperienced like Jones maybe didn't have that opportunity.
Well, this has been a very even fight.
Great right hand by Cobb.
A very even fight. Champ versus challenger and former champ. Toe-to-toe action in the center of the ring. Here
I'm not sure Cobb
5.
looks at it that way. I think he still thinks he's the champ. And he's fighting like one tonight. He looks really good. I'm impressed.
He is. This has been a very tough fight to score. 10 seconds left in round number 5. We have one
Jones
more
comes
round,
back with a good 1-2. Good left hook by Jones there to end this round.
With a nice right hand.
I'm Derek Atkins, MMA fighter and boxer here in Edmond, Oklahoma. I'm 10-4 in MMA. I usually wake up with quantum, but if my day of the workout is kicking my butt a little bit worse than usual, I'll grab a bottle. It helps me recover. I feel better. It helps me sleep. I haven't taken any sort of ibuprofen or aspirin since I started using quantum. I'd recommend it to anybody with kind of physical work. Quantum can actually really help you recover and feel like you can actually do stuff with your family, your friends, and just feel better in life.
This is the 6th and final round with the Oklahoma heavyweight title on the line. The champion, Nick Jones, 5-0. Ty Cobb, the former champ and challenger, 21-8. Here we go, final round. Let's see who takes the fight.
Oh, good 1-2 by Jones to start this round off. See, this is something he should have been doing the whole time. He's throwing straight punches down the middle and stepping back as opposed to being wide. See, he threw a good 1-2-1 and then ended it with some wide hooks there.
Yep. Nice shot to the hanging
rib. He certainly has a lot of potential.
Does Cobb have the energy to pull the rabbit out of the hat at this point?
Oh, I think so. Cobb's fighting the same as he did in the first and second round, in my opinion. He's got he's coming forward. He's parrying some punches, moving his head good, and throwing good shots. He looks good to me still. But I think Jones maybe looks a little more refreshed in this round. He started it off that way anyways.
He does. I was just about to say he's working from the outside a lot better, but then when I say that, he moves in on the inside.
Yeah, he led in with a left uppercut and right hand. That's impressive for Jones, especially with not having that much experience.
Cobb is not slipping punches.
Good left hook by Cobb again.
Cobb is not slipping punches like he was in the earlier rounds.
And he ate a right hand there from Jones.
The longer it goes, you can see those punches coming, but just can't get out of the way in time when you're exhausted. But he's still throwing hard shots, trying to work his way inside, just not applying the pressure I don't think he needs to pull out a victory at this point.
Good right hand by Cobb there, and then Jones comes back with a looping right hand.
Cobb is landing good shots, but Jones is outlanding him 2-3 to 1 in all these exchanges.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Even if the punches aren't as effective, he's piling up points.
Yeah.
Do you think Cobb needs to go for the knockout at this point?
No, I don't think so. Not necessarily, I should say. You know, again, it depends on how the judges see it.
Good left hook.
I think Cobb's done a good job tonight. I think Jones is doing better in this round than he has in the last couple for sure.
Well, Jones has never fought someone with this experience level before, and I think it's showing.
Absolutely.
Best thing he can do is after this fight go back in the gym, watch the tapes, and try to figure out why he kept getting tagged with that left hook from rounds 1 through 6.
Yeah, and I think if I was Jones' trainers, after looking at the tape, I think he needs to concentrate on throwing straight punches as opposed to being wide. He's real tall and long. He doesn't need to be throwing wide punches. He needs to use his height and length advantage and, you know, throw some straight punches.
Yeah, he's obviously an athletic kid, just maybe not as disciplined as he needs to be to move up to the next level. This is the end of the 6th and final round. These guys going at it. And it was a tough fight from beginning to end. The Oklahoma Heavyweight Championship on the line. We will go to the judges' scorecards right after this. Welcome back to Remington Park in Oklahoma City. We have the judges' scorecards ready. The Oklahoma heavyweight title on the line, defending champion Nick Jones and Ty Cobb going the first 6 rounds. Let's get the judges' decision from Gerald Whalen.
Gentlemen, it was a great fight. Hey, it was just a lot of noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening here at Remington Park, brought to you by Pink Parrot goes to the scorecards. Judge Gary Ritter scores the bout 59-55. Jones. Judge Kyle English scores the bout 59-55. Cobb. Judge Sarah Atwood scores the bout 59-55. For your winner by split decision, and still, the Oklahoma heavyweight champion out of the red corner, Nick Jones!
Nick Jones retaining his Oklahoma heavyweight championship with a split decision over former champ Ty Cobb. Nick Jones now moving up to 6-0, undefeated as champ. Darren, were you surprised by that decision?
I was actually. After going back and reviewing my scorecard, I felt like Cobb probably won it by 1 round. Regardless if they scored it for Jones or Cobb, I don't think it was a 59-55 type of fight.
Split decision, judges seeing it from different angles, but a great fight nonetheless. I'm sure we'd still love to see both these guys in the ring again, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of Nick Jones as he moves up to 6-0, undefeated as a heavyweight, and retains his heavyweight title with a split decision over Ty Cobb. Darren Humphrey, final thoughts on our main event tonight.
My final thought is it was a great fight. I don't necessarily agree with the scoring, but I think Nick Jones is a winner either way. He went 6 hard rounds with an experienced fighter like Ty Cobb, so he has something to be proud of. He has something, the next time he goes into a 6-round fight, he's going to know that he can do that, and he did it against a tough competitor in Ty Cobb.
Former Oklahoma heavyweight champion Darren Humphrey, always an honor working with you, sir. My name is Andrew Spino on behalf of HD Boxing and Pink Parrot. This has been the Rumble at Remington. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here October 28th inside the cage at Remington Park.